You look like a young person who only does weird.
I wish.
Are you into fitness and
No, me, I'm not into all those things.
Ni Mungu kusaidia.
Ni Mungu too. Yeah, I started getting gray hair when I was very young. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, like maybe with our generation. Yeah. You know, those days when you saw gray hair, somebody maybe was 60 and above, 70. But some of us started getting gray hair while we were still in our 30s. So I don't know whether it's the water we drink or the air we breathe. I have no, or the maybe eating too much pizza. I don't know.
Mambo. So today I'm in such a good mood because we have an amazing guest. Let me tell you, he's someone with a solid testimony of consistency, of excellence. And maybe you have met him, but I'm so happy. Let me tell you, I won't even say much. Let's do it. Pst Jesse, Mambo.
Mzuri.
Please do tell us your full name and what you're currently doing.
Well, my name is Jesse Mwai. My dad was called Kamau, but I hardly use that name. So it will be Jesse Mwai Kamau, but I just use two names.
Okay.
I'm a pastor, currently senior pastor, CITAM Valley Road here in Nairobi. Married to Njoki Mwai. And we are blessed with a daughter who is turning 18 this year, Kenya.
Yes.
You know, just about to finish high school. And I love the Lord. I love what I do.
Yes.
I'm a pastor by calling. And that's just who I am.
Amazing.
In a simple way, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like you said that you're a pastor by calling.
By calling.
Yeah, not a job, by calling.
By calling.
Yes. And that I testify that it's by calling.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. And I want to bless God for your wife.
Yes.
She's the one who actually helped to make this interview happen.
Yes. Yes.
And I bless God for her.
Yeah.
Now, in a nutshell, how would you summarize your life from the time, well, not when you were born, because you don't know, but from your childhood to now, how would you just give your life in a nutshell,
Well, let me just say, I think my life has been one of, on the one hand, ordinary, on the other hand, also extraordinary. But I think from a very early stage, I knew that God had a purpose for my life.
Yes.
You know, from a very, very early age. I always also like to think of myself, looking at my life, as that kid who was very different. I grew up in a family of 6 children, but I always felt the odd one out, the different one, for lack of a better way, maybe to say, we normally say the black sheep of the family. So I always felt that different, but I always felt that God had a plan and a purpose for my life.
Okay.
So that's just who I am, and eventually then God saved me as a young child at about 7 years of age. Of course, I was brought up in a Christian home, in a Christian family, but at age 7, I gave my life to Christ.
Amazing.
And then, of course, it's been a journey since that time up to the person. Now I'm in my 50s, so it's been a journey all those years.
Amazing.
Yeah.
At 7.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So before we come to your salvation,
there's
something you said that you are the black sheep or kondo nyeusi.
Yeah. In Swahili, it sounds really bad in Swahili.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But is it how you felt or your parents probably told you?
I think for me, it's just how I always felt.
Okay.
My parents were, I grew up, my parents were amazing people.
Okay.
They were Christians, both of them.
Yeah.
And we grew up in a Christian home. So they treated us all very, very equally.
Yes.
They loved us, especially my dad. I was very close with my dad.
Yes.
So, but it's just, the way you just feel that
Yes.
you process things differently. You always feel like there's something different about you. There's something unique about you. You can't really place your finger on.
Yes.
I was, I grew up sometimes a little withdrawn, from everybody else. I just didn't see things the same way like everybody, most of the times. So I was just that kid who was just there. But it was more of my own feeling, not because anybody made me feel that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you an introvert, extrovert?
That's a good question. So I am, I'm more, actually, my dominant personality is I'm introverted. All right.
Yes.
But you know, when they in behavioral sciences, when they came up with the 4 different personalities, you know, that usually form the basis of all the behavioral science when it comes to personalities is concerned, I will be what they will consider a choleric melancholic. All right.
Yes.
Or the other way around, whichever is which.
Yes, yes.
So on the one hand, but primarily my default is I am very, very introverted. I keep to myself. I love my space. I love my solitude. You know, but also I am also extroverted, especially when it comes to now what I do, being a pastor. So when you see me on the pulpit, you'll think I'm very extroverted.
Yes.
Right? But usually I tell people that when the person you see on the pulpit is not necessarily the person you know who exits that same pulpit. Because once I finish on the pulpit, I want time out. I just feel I have given everything. Now I just need to have my own time just by myself. So it's almost like a split personality of sorts. So people like me usually find it very difficult to even really describe who we are.
Yes.
Because then we send mixed signals to people. So sometimes if somebody meets you maybe on the pulpit, they think that you're very, very extroverted, you're out there, you have a lot of friends, companions and stuff. But if you meet me on my melancholic moment, you'll wonder, hey, this guy doesn't talk, he's so withdrawn, you know, he's so quiet and can he even do anything?
Yeah.
You know, so I always, even for myself, sometimes I keep saying that sometimes I find myself difficult to understand.
It's true.
Yeah.
You know, and it's healthy, and it's one of the God's wonders, actually.
Exactly.
True.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how were you well to do? Because you know, you look like a rich kid. You are ever smart, you know. So were you also a rich kid, you know?
No. My parents were wonderful people.
Okay.
I was born initially into a pastor's home. My dad was a pastor with a PAG, Pentecostal Assemblies of God, back in the day. But you know, in those days, being a pastor meant that you had to make do with very little resources. So because the family was growing and there were 6 kids, so my dad had to step away from full-time ministry as a pastor, and he became a tent maker. So he was still in the ministry, but not now as a full-time pastor, you know, eventually. So, but then my dad did his best. My parents actually did their best. My mother was a Mboga.
Okay.
All right. I mean, she was just a small trader. I mean, just, you know, doing business and stuff. But we were not wealthy by any standards.
Yeah.
We were never wealthy. So I know what it means to eat ugali and sukuma wiki. Like for days on end, because that's all that was available. I know what it means to be kicked out of school because of lack of school fees. I know what it means to come home and find the door locked because your dad has not paid rent. You know, I know what it means to have not the best of clothes and stuff, you know, where even your shoes are, you know, they are so done, they're so used, and you know, they have holes and stuff. So I know what that means. So we did not, by any stretch of imagination, we were not wealthy. We were just, you know, it's just that sometimes we don't say it, but we were actually poor. We were, by today's standards, we were definitely we were very poor. But you know, but one of the things that taught us during that time, because my parents were God-fearing, they really taught us faith.
Amazing.
You know, my dad will always insist, you know, that, hey, pray. So from a very early stage, we learned what it meant to pray for everything. You know, you pray for school fees because it's not always there. You pray even for the food. If you need a pair of shoes, he will tell you, you know, why don't you believe God for that also, and everything. And of course, as a child, when you're growing up, that's not always very easy because you're seeing other kids don't seem to have the same struggles that you have. They're wearing good clothes and school fees is always paid. And sometimes it will actually develop some form of almost bitterness against God. You're wondering, God, I just want to be a good person. I just want to go to school. I'm not asking for much. Why is school fees so difficult to come by? You know, so I know what it means to be poor. I know what it means to be poor.
Amazing.
But God's grace.
Thank God. So at 7, you give your life to Jesus.
Yes.
Were you alone? Were you in a church?
So how I give my life to Christ, I always credit my dad for that. So at the time, I was I grew up in Nairobi, by the way. I should have said I grew up in Nairobi. So I'm a city boy.
Okay.
Born and bred in Nairobi. My parents. So I've never lived outside of the city of Nairobi. So I'm just a city boy, right? So because my dad, of course, as I said, was a Christian, so church was for us was not an option. I mean, you went to church once the church doors were open, we'll be the first ones in there.
Wow,
I mean,
good.
so it took us. The discipline of church was inculcated in us from a very early stage. So at the time, ICC, International Christian Center.
Yes.
ICC had just begun because before ICC began, we were in KAG, that is Kenya Assemblies of God. There's a church in Bahati called Nairobi Christian Center, Bahati. So we used to go there for a number of years.
Yes.
And then there was a need to start a church that would cater for the international community that was coming into the country. So at the time, KAG decided to start a church at the city center, the CBD, to cater for that community, people coming from Nigeria, from the US, from all over. So that's why it's called International Christian Center. So we were among the families that began, were among the first families that were in that church.
Okay.
So at one point we were meeting, the church now used to meet at French Cultural Center in town. So I remember, why it's very vivid to me is because I remember there was a visiting evangelist. This guy was a child evangelist, a white guy. I've never seen a guy like that.
Wow.
So he had come into the church, doing that. I think he came from the US. And all I remember about him was that he was playing a guitar. So he would come, lead kids in worship, and then preach.
Yes.
So that day, we went to church in the morning. And then they told, the pastor said, all the children, we're calling you back in the afternoon. Just go home, have lunch, come back. We're going to have a children's service or children's crusade, whatever it was. So my dad took me for this, me and my brother, my late brother. So he took us for this afternoon thing that we were having.
Yes.
Of course, I mean, the kids, where there's music, you want
It's
to
so
go
fun.
and stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
So I remember we came to the church, to the auditorium, and they had removed, the chairs. So kids were just sitting down, just hanging out. So this guy, of course, I remember, I can't remember much of anything he did, but he was playing a guitar, and we sang, had a lot of fun. My dad was with me and my brother.
Good.
My dad actually was with us. He was sitting on the carpet with us.
That's nice.
So then the guy preached a very simple, child-friendly sermon, and then he invited people, those who wanted to be born again. Would you like to accept Christ? My dad, who I was seated next to, so my dad was in the middle, my brother on one hand, I'm on the other. He looked at me for whatever reason, and he said, "Would you like to receive Christ?" In other words, yes. So my dad didn't take it for granted that because I'm a Christian, these kids, he was very intentional.
Yes.
So if your dad asks you that, I mean, are you going to say no?
No,
I mean,
sure.
let me think about it. No, dad has asked me. This must be important.
Yeah.
So I said, So my dad took me to the front.
Oh, bless him. Yeah.
That's how I actually got born again. Then we went back and sat, and then this guy continued ministering. Then he said, that God also heals people, blah, blah, blah. So at the time, I used to have a problem with my ear. My ear used to pain, then to bleed. So I would go to the hospital. They couldn't figure out what was going on, but it would be so painful. I mean, excruciating pain.
Yeah.
And then it would bleed, but they couldn't tell what was the problem. So in fact, that time,
yes,
I was actually in that state, still trying to get treatment. So this guy talks about healing. And then he says, Jesus heals, blah, blah, blah. If maybe you're not well, come, we want to pray for you. So my dad again, told me, please go and be prayed for, because of your ear. So I went there, this guy anointed us with oil, prayed for us as children. And I can tell you this, from that day, God healed me completely.
Praise
that was the end of that. So in fact, it was years later when I remembered, how come my ear stopped paining? Then it actually hit me that God had actually healed me miraculously. So that's why I keep telling people that for me, I think I was arrested from a very early stage.
Yes.
Of course, now you begin growing up as a child, you want to do whatever. But when God arrests you, it doesn't matter how far you want to run away.
Yes.
You for me, there was no way about it. I mean, I could not run away from him. So that's how I grew up. Of course, went to high school, everything, and then eventually now, when I went to university, that's when God really now called me to the ministry.
Amazing. Praise God.
Yeah.
So now being born, you never backslid. You are really,
You know,
kids backslid all the time.
you try to experiment things. For me,
Yes.
I can't say that I was in the world and I was partying and no, I never lived that kind of life.
Okay.
I quite never did.
Yeah.
First and foremost, because growing up in a home where resources are limited, where are you going to get money to go and party?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to steal? But
you can't.
Nothing to steal.
Yes. So I wouldn't go out partying and drinking.
Mm.
But of course, as a child, especially when you go to high school, you want to experiment, maybe a cigarette here. You want to experiment. I mean, what is this kids talk about? Like maybe alcohol. So you will try a few things, but somehow for me, those things never quite appealed to me. You get. So you go and take a cigarette and think like, this thing is, why would anybody want to keep doing this? It's so uncomfortable. Okay, this beer, it's kind of nasty, you know? Like, why would anybody want to? Yes. So I was never quite hooked into those things, you know. So you but then when you look back, you realize it was actually God's grace.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So I never quite developed that. I never developed an appetite for rebellion or the party life. I never ever quite. In fact, even today, I normally tell my wife, I say, no, me, even if I was not born again, me, I'm not a party animal.
Yeah, there are things I wouldn't do.
There's still things I don't think I'm cut out for.
Yeah.
Going out the whole night partying, I am not. It's not me.
And thank God.
It's
that's
not me.
special grace.
And I'm not saying that in a judgmental way.
I know.
If there are people who struggle with that, but I'm just saying for me, it just never quite appealed.
True. Yeah, there's some things that people don't, you know, some just get lost from a very young age. Others don't even like, I wonder what people, like they're not born again, but they're like,
what is the fun in that? You know? Me, I think I was that kind of a person.
Yeah, and that's a good.
But I also say this that it's not because I'm so good. It's not because I'm so holy.
Yes.
When I really think about it, is because of God's grace.
It's true.
I think when God has earmarked you for a certain purpose, He will protect you. He will protect you from the world. Because I have friends who ended up in that direction, the party life. And many of them are dead today. You know, became alcoholics. Just messed up their lives and everything. But sometimes I look at that and I say, that could have also been me.
It's true.
Because when the enemy also wants to destroy you, he will destroy you. So it's just, I always say, I say, it's just God's grace.
Indeed. And may God shield our children in Jesus' name. So now, you are very, in fact, I was speaking to someone and I saw two people. So one person, when I said they'll have an interview, a sitting with Pastor Jesse, the guy said, he's actually, Uyo hana mambo. Hakwangi na mambo. In fact, he told me that he works around here. So he said that there's something you did when you came here at Valley Road. And you called them you sat with them. They were able to tell you their challenges. And you actually took that seriously and working on those things they mentioned. So that was one person who mentioned that one. Another person told me when I said I'm going to sit with you, the person was like, halikuangi na mambo. He's a very good person. And then, you have good vibes. You're an introvert, but with good vibes. So, but I would like to find out, you are very, from what I see, you are very consistent. You are very, wise. Very wise. When there's something that you have spoken on, and I see something that has been posted on YouTube, I want to listen. Very simple statement, like there must be something he said that is very, you go like, how do you think about it? I know, of course, God gives us wisdom and helps us understand, but that commitment of excellence. Commitment to excellence, actually. Because you're very excellent. Wherever you go, you excel. And I'm not even trying hard. It's something people can testify, the ones who know you. When did you pick that commitment and say, I'm going to be excellent? But they were in school, maybe to take you back, how was it in school? Because you were struggling with school fees. Maybe we can go back to school. Schooling, how was it? High school?
Maybe starting with school. Went to just a regular school, just downtown Nairobi. But like I said, the school fees sometimes was a bit of a challenge. After that, I did pretty well in school. I mean, I was what would you consider a smart kid in school.
Awesome.
You know, I mean, academically, I would excel without putting too much effort. I was that kind of a kid, you know, without putting too much effort. So I went to, so when I finished my primary school, I was received into a national school. But I guess that's where my high school experience was not the best. The reason being, having grown up in the city of Nairobi, I was young, I mean, so I hadn't been exposed to a lot of things. So when I went to this high school, which was my first time in a boarding school, I didn't excel at all. So health-wise, I was doing very badly. So, and I was there for like just a little over 2 years.
Yeah.
So my grades plummeted because I wasn't, I mean, it was just a difficult thing for me. So, you know, there are people who thrive in boarding environments.
Yes.
But we're not the same. There's some, you can have 3 kids, one child excels in a certain context, but the other one will definitely not excel in that context.
Yes.
So for me, I just didn't excel when it came to that. So in Form 3, I got very sick. In fact, I think we had come home after the first term, and before we went back to school, I got very, very, very unwell. I mean, it was bad. I mean, it was, if there was a time I would have died, that was then. So that's when I think my dad realized. In fact, I remember my mom just told my dad, I think if you send this boy back to that school, this boy is not going to come back. Yeah, he's not going to survive this experience. And I think for my dad, he realized, yeah, I think this boy is not cut out for this thing. So my dad came and asked me, what do you want me, where do you want to go? So I told him, my brother that was younger than me at the time, he was in Upper Hill School. So I said, just take me to Upper Hill School. You know, so I ended up going to Upper Hill, you know, which is not far from here.
Yes.
It was a day school. And there, so I had 1.5 years, just one, actually less than 1.5 years, because the whole of Form 3, the second term, I didn't step a classroom. I never went to school. All right, it was that bad. So I ended up now going to school in 3rd term of Form 3. And then remember now, Form 4 is when I need to do my KCSE. So for some reason, the headmaster, those days you couldn't transfer. They used to discourage people transferring, especially in Form 3. They would force you to repeat a class. So I was supposed to repeat, but I didn't want to. So for some reason, I just went to Form 4 after my 3rd term Form 3 in Upper Hill. Then I went to Form 4. And I still made the cut for university for some strange reason. I could have done better, maybe if I had a better, you know, so I made the cut. But then again, also things happened that year. The government funding for university was cut. So the people who had just barely made it, which I was part of, we were again now cut off. So now the only other option was you either find your way into a private university, which my parents didn't have the money for, or college or whatever, you know. But now, and then we didn't have the parallel programs and everything. So it was very difficult if you didn't make that cut into the university. But anyway, well, long story short, I managed to eventually, I think about a year or two, to raise a little money and went to Catholic University. You know, so Catholic University, I wanted to be a businessman. Because I didn't want to be poor anymore.
Enough already.
I said, I don't want to raise a family in this kind of poverty. It's just too hard. You know, so I said, I want to get into Catholic University and become a businessman. It was while in Catholic University when God just, in my 3rd year, God arrested me. I mean, it was another ton of events. I actually went and took a leave of absence from school because I just, there was this overwhelming sense of calling in my life. I was unsettled, you know, wondering, okay, I'm doing this course, but I don't think this is where God is leading me, blah, blah, blah. That time I was at CITAM Karen. You know, it was just a few years. We just started CITAM Karen. It was NPC South. We used to call it NPC South. So my pastors were Pastor White and Sister White. So I went and told them this is what is going on. So for the next 1 year, I wrestled. I wasn't in school. I wrestled with the calling of God in my life. Eventually, of course, you know, God always wins at the end. So eventually I just said, you know what, if that's what God, what you want me to do, no problem, then I'll do it. You know, become a pastor, because I didn't want to become a pastor because I didn't want to be poor. So I went and good thing. I mean, and they will always be my pastors, you know, Pastor White and Sister White those days, because of the pastors at Karen that time. So I went, and they really guided me. And when I went and told them that this is what I feel God is, they told me, by all means. I mean, like, we've been waiting for you to just say yes, because clearly God's hand is on you.
See it. Okay.
And they blessed me, and they prayed for me. They actually blessed me and said, you go to Bible college. So I went to Park. That time it was Pan African Christian College. It was purely a seminary. So I went there. Actually, that was on a Friday when we prayed with them. Monday I was there, got the forms, and filled it in. I went and started college all over again. I had done 2.5 years at Catholic University.
Yes.
So when I went to college, the registrar said, you can transfer some credits. But I felt, no, I want the whole experience.
Yes.
So I went and started all over again. So thankfully, I should have taken 4 years. I ended up taking 3.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was book smart.
Yes.
So what I will do, I will take an extra load. In those days, if your GPA was like 3.6 and above, you could actually take extra courses in a term. So while everybody else is doing a maximum of maybe 10 or 12 credit hours, you could do up to even 15. So I crashed 4 years of college into 3. Wow. And funny thing, I always say, then glory to God, that I still graduated top of my class that year. I was a valedictorian. That was 2003. Then, of course, now immediately after that, that's when I was just graduating, we were starting CITAM Gong. So I was taken in as an intern pastor to start CITAM Gong with the then pastor who was sent there.
Yes.
So that's how I began my journey, 2003, pastoral ministry in CITAM. And as I say, the rest is history. So that has been my journey. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that has been my journey.
Yeah.
Many things, of course, have happened in the middle, but just in a nutshell.
Wow. An incredible one, though.
Yeah.
And I'm not even done. Because when you speak about wrestling with God in your 3rd year, how did it feel like? Like if someone is actually having the same struggle, they don't know, like you can't place, because wrestling meant you didn't want.
I didn't want. I didn't want to be I loved the Lord, but I didn't want to be a pastor. Yeah.
Serve God,
and primarily because I didn't want to be poor. Actually, my biggest reason was by that time, of course, I was already involved in a lot of ministry. Right? As a young man in CITAM, I mean, those days it was NPC. We would go for missions, we would preach in high schools. And I was a worship leader, by the way. Actually, most people that time knew me as a worship leader. All right?
Oh, I see.
So I used to lead worship quite a bit in church. We were among the first people who formed like the first worship teams, in CITAM, because those days we didn't have worship teams and stuff. So I love music. I love leading worship and stuff. So that was my primary gift was actually worship leading. So I was very involved and I loved serving.
Yes.
But I just didn't want to do it full time.
Yes.
Yeah. So I said, Lord, let me go and be a businessman. Let me make money. I will support the ministry, blah, 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 but just don't ask me to. And then those days, I mean, maybe the picture of a pastor was not very appealing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a pastor was this guy who is broke, has the worst of everything, waiting for people to help them, living off handouts. So I used to think, no, I really don't want to live like that. I don't want to live like that. But I think for me, so I wrestled with that. I really wrestled with that.
I see.
And then God spoke to me. In fact, the thing that really pushed me, and the thing that probably was a breakthrough for me, because I really prayed, I fasted, was when God spoke to me. And God said, son, do what I've called you to do. And the things that people work a lifetime to get, he says, I will give them to you.
Praise
In other words,
God.
those things that are worrying you,
yes,
right? Those things that houses and whatever's, he says, I will give them to you.
They're mine anyway.
Just, yes.
Yeah.
He says, you just serve me. Who said I can't? And when I look back, I normally tell people, God is actually very faithful. You know that verse in Joshua that says, not one of his words has actually failed. Not one of his promises has failed. I can tell you, in my life, not one of his promises has actually failed. And I have seen, I must say God has been good to me and my family. And we have seen amazing things. I normally tell people, there's nothing I have desired and God didn't give me.
Wow.
Yeah, and yet I didn't have to go getting loans and getting into debt or cutting corners.
Yeah.
There are things I just say, I would like that. And somehow just God, in his own miraculous way,
He provides.
just provides.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. It's amazing how you remain grounded.
Yeah.
Yourself and also your wife, like
Yeah.
approachable, easy people,
Yes.
you know, and it's I think it comes from knowing all these things come from God.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
we are not
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. So now we are done with school. Now to go back to my question.
Yes. Yes.
The excellence. Where do you pick it?
Let me put it this way. Maybe it's part of without even taking credit. I think it's just part of my personality. I'm a creative. All right. Now, when I say creative, some people have no idea what that means, but I am artistic by nature. I love beauty. All right.
Yes.
So when I enter a room or when I get into an environment, the first thing that I notice is beauty or the lack of it. You get. So when I come to a place, I want to make it as beautiful, as good, as wonderful as it can be.
Yes.
All right. So if I enter, maybe I'm outside, the first thing I'm wondering, how come there are no flowers here? That's just the way I think. Because creatives are people who create. We create beauty. We love aesthetics. All right. When I sit to write a sermon, for me, this is a good sermon, but how do I deliver it? How do I make it beautiful? How do I make it pleasing to the people who hear it?
Yes.
Because you can have a good sermon, for example, but the delivery is poor.
Yes.
You kind of lose it.
It won't land. Yeah,
it won't land.
Yeah.
You get. So because of that, I don't like chaotic places. I don't like disorder. I don't like things that are not neat. I normally feel that if you're going to do anything for the Lord, please, just do a good job. Just do your best. You know, put your best foot forward. Now, excellence is not perfection. We will never be perfect.
Yes.
Because even the most excellent things in this world, they're not perfect.
Yeah.
All right? But I always say, because again, God is also a God of excellence.
Yes.
And when you do something for the Lord, and maybe even just in life, when you do things well, and you can be able to turn back and say, I'm proud of that work.
Yes.
That's what life is about, isn't it? I mean, where you're happy and proud to be associated with a certain thing, you know? Nobody wants to be associated with mediocrity, but you all want to be associated with something good. So I think for me, again, I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody, but I think it just comes mainly from my personality.
Yes, yes.
And again, remember, I'm a choleric, very driven. So for me, if I need to get stuff done, I don't understand why it shouldn't be done.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but you see, over time, I've learned to be a bit more patient because I realize not everybody's a choleric like myself.
True.
But that does not derail me from doing what I need to do. Yeah. So if I need stuff done, let's do it. Because one of the things I keep telling people, I don't understand why we commit ourselves to doing stuff, then we don't do it. So why don't you just say you won't do it instead of saying let's do this and then you don't do it? Or you do it and you do it mediocre. I say, why don't we do it, give it our best? And then again, also maybe for me, I think the exposure that I've received over time, you know, when you travel a bit, like if you go to the West, you go to places and you actually see excellence. You see excellence on the road. You can actually walk into along a street and there's no litter. All right?
Yes.
You systems work. You can actually drive and see traffic lights are working.
Yeah.
Street lamps are working. Systems are, everything is supposed to be, whatever is supposed to be there, it is working.
Yes.
You see people, you went into a restaurant and people actually working and doing a good job. You get, so you see that and then you come home and you realize, then why are we slacking off?
It's true.
Why is it that I can go and see a place, maybe an intersection, and the traffic light has been not working for the past 3 months? Or traffic lights which were put there for them to work and they're not working. I always say, and yet somebody has been employed to make sure that they work.
Yes.
So that's where sometimes I come from. I always say, what does it take for you to just do what is right? And I say now, more so for us who are Christians.
True.
You get? More so for us who are born again. That when people come to our church, shouldn't they see a sense of excellence?
Yes.
That the God we serve is a God of excellence. It should reflect in how we work and how we do our things. Yeah. So I know sometimes people, you know, the thing about, if I can say this real quick, is sometimes in church, you know, just generally speaking, you find a lot of mediocrity. So if you try to hold people accountable, they say, why are you being hard on me?
Yeah.
You know, we are Christians.
Nitakuombea.
I'm thinking,
thinking
we are
this way, yes.
Christians. In fact, the more reason, if we are
Yes.
Christians,
Yeah.
that I need to hold you accountable and say, nice, I think this could have been done better.
Yes.
I'm not trashing you. I'm not putting you down.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I know you well enough to know you can do a better job than that.
You have the potential.
But instead of me, I tell people, and this sounds harsh, I don't celebrate mediocrity.
There's nothing there.
If something is mediocre, it doesn't give me joy. I will not tell you because I'm a musician.
Yes.
So I tell people, if you sing badly, for example, I'm not going to tell you did well.
I mean, it's not a lie.
I'll be lying to you. In fact, if anything, I'll only be reinforcing mediocrity if I told you.
True.
You get? If you sang off key, I'll just call you and say, my sister, that was good, but you were off key. I think you can do better. Why don't you practice a little bit much more? But I'm not going to celebrate mediocrity so that I don't hurt your feelings. Yeah, I can celebrate it. I don't hurt your feelings, but I am only reinforcing mediocrity in you, and I don't think we need to do that.
Yeah. That's I think because many times, Christians or not, there's a way we want to please people.
Exactly.
Oh, you are perfect.
Exactly.
And when you tell someone work on this, oh, you are harsh.
Yeah, exactly. Why are you being so hard? You don't appreciate.
Yes.
Oh. I say, what do you mean I don't appreciate
you? I didn't shout.
Insult you.
I just told you.
I did my master's in the US, and I've also been trying to do a postgraduate degree there again.
Yes.
But one of the things I learned from those guys is especially the Western mindset is your word is your bond.
Awesome.
So if your professor tells you this is the deadline for your assignment.
Yes.
At midnight, I need it in my inbox. 1 minute.
Better.
If you submit that thing 1 minute later, you lose marks.
Yes.
Because for them, your word should be your bond.
Yeah.
All right? The quality of your work. I remember one time, one of my professors called me, and this was a wake-up call.
Yes.
And he told me, now, I am inclined on this particular paper to actually fail you. But he said, I will give you another opportunity.
Yes.
Right? And he pointed out, this, that, and the other. He said, please, because I don't want to fail you.
Yes.
Why don't you go and correct this, do it again, blah, blah, blah. You get?
Yes.
And so instead of him just, he could have just said, no, we are Christians. Let me just give you.
It's okay.
It's okay, don't worry. No, for them, it's excellence.
Yeah.
You must produce work. If you want an A, your work must be worth that A. Yeah. And you must justify why I'm giving you that A. Through I need to see effort that you've actually put. You get, and for also for them, like, so if they say our meeting was going to start at 10, and that's online.
Yes.
At 10 is not when people are tuning in. At 10 is when they are starting. And if you say, we are finishing at 11, it doesn't matter whether you're in the middle of a thought. 11 reaches, you say, okay, fine, I think we'll continue another time. And he actually taught me excellence. Yeah. I mean, those guys, and that's why you will see it in the streets, you will see it in everything that they do. If it's cleanliness, you will actually come and find, you can actually, in some places, you can even eat off the street. Because it is, people are doing their job.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. And I thought, why can't Christians also demonstrate the same thing?
Yeah. True. And you said something important, because even in a country like Rwanda, you see how people can say, oh, because those people have money, resources, but you're thinking, no, it's a commitment to doing something.
It is it has nothing to do with how much money you have. You get?
Yeah.
By the way, can I be honest? The fact that one is poor doesn't mean you have to look poor. You get? You can still, I have met people who carry themselves in a certain way. They may not have the expensive, whatever, bling and what have you, but the way they carry themselves does not betray where they've come from.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you cannot associate that and with poverty. No, not necessarily. Like you mentioned Rwanda, I've been there, and it's amazing. I mean that systems work in Africa.
True. Yes. Yes.
When I was there, I was so amazed that even borders stop at traffic lights.
No games.
And nobody even dares to be on the wrong side of the road. So I come back to Nairobi, I'm thinking, here, borders don't stop at lights.
Yeah.
They're all over the pavements. You can be hit by a border while you're walking on the sidewalk. They're always on the wrong side of the road. Matatus everywhere. I mean, chaos.
Yeah.
But you go to Rwanda, you're thinking, oh, it's actually in Africa, you can actually do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So excellence is something, I think, is an attitude and that consensus. And you also asked about consistency. Just being consistent with what you do. Be the same person from January to December. Yeah. Not you. Today you're good, and then tomorrow you're something else. Just be consistent. Let people know you as that person who is very consistent. It's a choice that we make on a daily basis.
On a daily. It's true. I would have come to your education. So I helped me because I know you are well schooled. When you talk about also being that smart kid. Now, and I get to understand a number of things because there's a way someone communicates. You can know. Yes, there's being a pastor, having a calling, or being called, but there's also being smart. You know, you can tell this person is smart even how they communicate, and also understand how you dress. Because now you know you're a city person.
I'm a city boy. I'm a city boy.
Style is not like one of the things you're learning at this point. So, but now. How now being a pastor, I know there's a commitment to excellence, to you know, and being consistently excellent.
Yes.
But there's also where does prayer come in? You know,
prayer.
When someone is prayerful, because sometimes you look at someone, you can tell this person prays and studies the word. And then someone can tell this person only prays or studies when they have an assignment. So where does prayer and the consistency come in? And also for anyone who would want to actually style up and be. For
me, I think the things that matter the most to a human being. You have to create a certain consistency about them. Prayer, study. Now, let's also be careful. Maybe just the truth is that different seasons sometimes. Things change. You can actually go through a season where you're waking consistently at 3 a.m. to pray. You know, and God takes you to a season like that. Another season will come and things may change. You're not now waking up at 3 and probably that has actually shifted. What is most important is not the formulas. What is most important is, are you consistently in the presence of the Lord? Do you have a discipline of praying? Not just in your prayer closet. All right. Even in other places. Do you have a place for corporate prayer where you also now combine or join with other people and actually pray? You know, because again, you can't just confine prayer to just one area. It has to be a certain consistency. When it comes to the study of God's word, for instance, you know, do you have a way that you study God's word? How do you feed your soul? Basically, that's what I'm asking. You know, again, we're also very different. You know, there are people feed their souls in very different ways. What is most important? Are you feeding that inner man? Or is that inner man struggling? Is that inner man being starved? And you feed the inner man through prayer. So you have to find a way, you know, through the word, through worship, you know. And no matter what seasons come, seasons change. Like now we are in a rainy season, tomorrow it may be sunny. Whatever season you're in, those elements should still find a place in your life. There has to be a consistency with those elements. So in other words, seasons will come and change, but there are some things that are common denominator. I will still be praying in that season. I will still be studying in that season. I will still be worshiping in that season. You get? The mode, all those other things may change, but that consistency is what is most important.
Awesome.
And that's why I normally refrain from giving people formulas. Oh, you must wake up at this time in the 4th watch of the night. That's when the angels are. No, I always feel no. Formulas usually fail. Yeah, because you see, your experience may not be mine may not be yours. So I cannot come and tell you this works for me, so it must work for you.
For you too.
No, you have to find your own spiritual pathway. Yeah, because again, the way we are shaped, our personality, our experiences are very, very different. You get where we are in life is very, very different.
Yes.
You know, so you have to find that what works for you at any particular time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means also
Yeah.
that if some people are morning people, others are night people.
Exactly.
So someone can actually have their devotion at night.
Yes.
And if they wake up at 7, they're not sinners, right?
They're not sinners. They're not sinners.
Yeah.
Me, I'm not a night owl. I mean, I'm not a night person at all.
Yes.
You get. But there are people who are night people. Yeah, there are people who, I mean, at 3 in the morning, that's when they are really alive.
True. Yes.
You know, if that's when you can be able to spend some time in the presence of God, and by all means.
Yes.
If you're a morning person, there are people who, for them, they must wake up very early, 5, and the first thing is prayer closet. If that's what works for you, by all means.
Yes.
But you have to find what works for you. There are people, by the way, that all that doesn't work. For them, it's daytime. In the daytime, they say, hey, I have to carve out, but my time is maybe 1 or 2 or 3.
Yes.
And in that time, I would disappear somewhere.
True.
I go and spend some time in the presence of the Lord. If that is you,
yeah.
you're good.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
As long as you do it.
As long as you do it. And the important thing is, are you feeding your soul? That's what is most important. Yeah, not the formulas and all those kind of things. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you for that. But now,
Yeah.
as I said earlier, you have a wonderful wife.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's so easy to work with her.
Yeah.
And now she's handling so many women.
Yes.
You know, and when I told her that I would like to sit with your husband, she was like, oh, I'll tell him.
Yeah.
Then she came back, because I didn't follow up.
Yeah.
She came back and she told me, oh, so I told him he's good.
Yeah.
Then later she's like, you get a call and you can organize and agree on a date. Like, she took it up. I was thinking, oh, I've been thanking her.
Yes.
But I've also had, and seen her work with other people. She's a wonderful person.
Yes. Yes.
How did you meet her, and how did you know she
Yeah.
was and she remains the one?
So we met at, again, CITAM Karen.
Awesome.
At that season when I was struggling with a calling in my life for the ministry and stuff. So during that season, because I had taken leave from school, so I wasn't in school. So I would spend a lot of time in church. I was very active and involved. So she, the first time I saw her, she had brought her niece for DVBS, you know. So she comes and of course I noticed, beautiful girl, you know. Then at some point, of course, we just struck up a conversation. Who are you? And we just started talking, blah, blah, blah. And then we just developed a friendship. You know, then I got to know about her. So for a long time, we were just buddies.
Yes.
We'll just meet and talk and everything. But you see, also, on my part, at that point, I'm also, because I'm a young adult, I'm thinking, Lord, if I'm going to be in the ministry, I need to find a wife who can fit into that kind of, into my calling. Because again, the ministry is such that you have to find a spouse who can understand the ministry. They may not be called to be a pastor like you, but do they complement you?
Yeah.
Or will they add to your ministry, or will they pull you down? Because I've seen people, by the way, who very gifted ministers called into the ministry, but the spouse was their problem. The spouse is the one who brings them down, because maybe the spouse has expectations, you know, and maybe the husband is not delivering on those expectations, and it becomes very discouraging for the husband. Yeah. And it happens, by the way.
Yes.
Now, so, and my wife has always loved the Lord. I mean, she's very spiritually or very devout. I mean, she's very devout, very, very prayerful.
Yes.
So even from that time, so in the course of just getting to know each other, of course, you know, we now decided to become exclusive. Yes. You know, and then now the problem was, after a short while, I was going to go to Bible college. So I told her, you know, I'll be, because at that time, I knew I was going to be in Bible college for 4 years. I did 3, but you see, at the beginning, I didn't know. So I thought I was going to take 4 years. So I said, no, Naomi, I'm going to Bible college. Yeah. And I'll be there for the next 4 years. After that, I'll be a pastor. Yes. And so I said, I'm not sure whether I want to hold you down to wait for me to go to Bible college, finish, become a pastor. Number two, I don't, you know, when you're going to be a pastor, you don't have the promise of wealth and money, you know, I mean, for whatever reason, you know, as opposed to saying, I'm going to be a businessman, you know, this is different. This is a walk of faith, really. So I told her, you know what, I will be happy. Reluctantly, yes, but I will be happy to release you. You know, I'm sure you're a beautiful girl. Any fellow out there would jump at the opportunity, you know, to make you their wife. So that's what I told her. So, but she said, no, I've prayed about it. And I know, I'm convinced, I'm convicted in my heart that you're the man that I need to marry.
Yes.
Of course, you don't argue with that kind of stuff. So I just said, oh, okay, fine. So throughout Bible college, she actually waited for me.
Yes.
So then I graduated in 2003, and then we were actually married in 2004, the following year, you know. And when I look back, God is an amazing matchmaker. You know, I could never have asked for a better wife. Because she's, like I say, she's very devout, you know, very committed to her walk with the Lord. My wife is way more prayerful than I can ever be.
Wow.
Yeah, my wife she's the type who wakes up at 4 and prays until 6. I mean, and she prays for me and my daughter. I know she prays for the ministry. Very encouraging, supports me, you know, how she's in business. She supports me, you know, in the ministry. If I need to travel, you know, sometimes she will be the one who will say, hey, I'll buy the ticket for you. I mean, she's just been amazing. And she's a great administrator. That's one of the things I keep telling her about. She's an excellent, very gifted administrator, because my wife knows where everything is. You know, the type who are very detailed. That's why she will follow up with you. If she tells you, I'll call you tomorrow and follow this up, you can be sure she will do that. Yeah, she will not, she doesn't miss a bit. I mean, those kind of things. So that has also really, really helped me, because I'm not as detailed. Yeah, but you know, creatives, we are not as detailed. Creatives, we are touch and go. We are very random. We can be very spontaneous. But her, she's the one who is very. She knows where everything is. You know, I don't know what if my wife loses something, I tell her it's not lost. I say you just misplaced it. It's just somewhere.
It can't get
there
lost.
There is no way you can lose anything. If it is me, you can be sure it is lost forever. But for you, never. I tell her it is somewhere here. You just have to remember where it is. Yeah, and true to my word, usually that's what happens. So she's great homemaker, and she's a hard worker. She's not a lazy woman. So I mean, she's just been an amazing support, even in the ministry. She's not a pulpit person. She's not, you know, I'm the pulpit person. She's happy to be on the background. Yeah.
She's like that strength. You know, that strength behind, like, you know, those people who. But when someone interacts with her, you can tell already. There's a way she has this calm. She's grounded.
Very grounded.
You can quickly tell.
Very calm. Yeah. Great. I mean, she's amazing.
True. And then we thank God for having. God bless her. Indeed. Also bless your daughter. So we're coming towards the end of our conversation. I could stay. You know, could have part 3, 4, 5. It's such a pleasant thing to sit with you and have this conversation. You have a heart for young people. What draws you to? I mean, for young people.
I was a youth pastor also. I think when we started off my initial ministry that time, I was a youth pastor that time at CITAM Gong, you know, for a long time. And I have worked among young people. I mean, up to now, I still, you know, once in a while I will still go and speak to teenagers, you know, wherever the Lord leads me. And having also grown up as a city boy, you know, and doing ministry in the urban setting, I realized that if you are not intentional with young people, the enemy has a plan, you know, just to be able to capture them, to be able to destroy their lives and everything. Because I grew up in this city, so I understand urban life a little bit much more, because I have lived it. I have been there. I have seen what happens to young people when they get into drugs, when they get into immoral lifestyles and those kind of things, you know. So I have a heart for young people. And again, also, I have come to really realize that even in a church, in any church setting, and CITAM is a very family-oriented church. But you see, the church is not just for today. the church has to be there long after we are gone. We exit the scene. And to ensure that that happens, we must then be very intentional with the young people and children, the youth and children.
Yeah.
And one thing I love about CITAM is that we are very intentional with youth and children.
Yes.
You know, so that long after we have exited the scene, these are the guys who will be sitting where we are sitting right now.
It's
They'll
true.
be the ones who will be running the church. They'll be the pastors, the senior pastors, or whatever. But somebody has to invest. So I use my own example.
Yes.
I am probably today a pastor because I had a great dad who also believed in me as a child.
True.
I'm a pastor today probably because of people like Pastor White and Sister White who invested in me. In fact, I normally say it there that back in my day in CITAM, I was the Gen Z of our time. We were that generation.
Yeah.
But Pastor White and Sister White saw this young man in my early 20s at the time. I was not in Bible college.
Yes.
And I'll never forget the investment that they made in my life. Because I'll never forget that time, Sister White is the one who, kind of initiated DVBS, the Daily Vacation Bible School for Children.
Beautiful.
So it was a thing. So when we were in NPC Karen, that time it was CITAM, NPC South, when we had just started that church, because they're the ones who planted it there. So I got involved in the children's ministry, and then I got involved in DVBS. In fact, I tell people this, what they don't know is that today, of course, DVBS attracts all these thousands of children. We write our own curricula. But those days, the curricula at NPC South was written by 2 people for DVBS, myself and Sister White.
Oh, wow, that's good. That's great.
Yeah. So then other assemblies will now ask us for the material and everything. That's how we actually started. I used to write together with her.
Yes.
And then we'll do DVBS. So one time, interesting how God works. That was in 1990 what? 98. 98, 99 there. I remember I was not in Bible college. So we wrote, she had asked me to write a character story for DVBS, for that year. So I had written this character story, I think it was sometime mid-year, and she really loved it. All right. Remember, I'm a creative, so I can write drama, I can write skits and stuff. Wow. So on Sunday, I come to church on Sunday. Those days we didn't have mobile phones, so I come to church on Sunday in the morning. So she meets me just walking, along the corridor there. So that time the CITAM Karen had not been built; it was just a tent. We were just in a tent there. So she stops me, and she's so excited. Oh, the character story time was amazing. You did very well, blah, blah, blah. And Sister White she's my mom, so she can talk. I mean, so she just went on and me, I'm there, I'm wondering, okay, was it that good? Like, okay. Then she says, and quickly she just says, and, Pastor, she says that myself and Pastor, we've been invited to Cameroon to go there for ministry. We're going to do VBS. She's just talking and talking and talking. And then she says, and we're going with you. Oh. So I'm thinking, like, you can't be serious. Like, yeah,
I just said, yes.
And she said, yeah, we're going to go with you.
Wow.
So I told her, okay, that's great, but I don't even have a passport. Wow. I never had a passport that time. Getting a passport was hard. Nowhere.
Yes.
Getting a passport was hard those days. So she said, no, we'll apply for a passport. So anyway, she told me, so Monday I went, that was in our house, whatever, filled up the paperwork and everything and applied for a passport. Then I started waiting. Now the trip was coming. I think the trip was about a month away or something or less. So now, man, I would camp at Nyayo house trying to get my passport.
Yes.
It just wasn't working. Wow. The last week came. The trip is supposed to be like next week. So I remember I just went and told her, Mom, I think I've tried. This thing is just not going to work. She was not happy. She says, you don't have faith. We're going to get this passport. She was a woman of faith.
Yes.
She said, no, we're going to get it. And you know what she said? If you're not going for that trip, we are not going. Like this trip is dependent on you getting that passport. She was a woman, and she said, I'm going to pray. Wow. Then I remember it was that week, there was a guy who was, working with these government people. So he used to come to the church. So she mentioned to him, do you know how we can get, this young man needs a passport. So the guy he never used to talk much. Just said, please, just send him to me. So she introduced me to the guy. So interesting how God works. So the guy tells me, this is like on a Thursday. The trip is supposed to be on Monday. This is Thursday, I don't have a passport. So he tells me, meet me tomorrow in town, in the middle of town, somewhere.
On Friday.
Yes, on Friday. and bring those days when you applied for a passport, they will give you a yellow, whatever, as you wait.
Slip.
Yeah. So he tells me, wait, in the middle of town, he says, meet me in town at this particular place. I'll wait for you at that, at like 10 in the morning.
Yes.
So I go to town with that little slip. So I say, where's that slip? I give it to him. This guy didn't talk much. There's no, who are you? No, it was, give me the slip. I give him the slip. Then the guy tells me, let's meet here at 3. Same spot.
Day.
In the middle of town, not even in a restaurant. So now, the rest of the day, you figure out what you will do, but let's just meet here at 3.
Wow.
So the guy disappears. Then at 3, I come back, and he comes with a brown envelope and says, here is your passport. All right? So apparently, he went and traced it where it was during this, in the whole system, went and picked it, retrieved it himself, made sure it was done, the signatures were done. He brought it in the middle of town.
Amazing.
Now, by the way, before he left at 10 in the morning, I had also discovered I was supposed to have gotten 10 days previously, if I'm going to go for that trip, the yellow fever. This Cameroon.
Yes.
Where do I get this thing? So they told me, no, you go to City Hall. That was the only place you could get that time. Then get the yellow card.
Yes.
So I had told him, by the way, I also need this. So I went to, at 10 in the morning after we had met, after that I went to that place, City Hall. Then the guy who I met, it was corrupt. The guy tells me, I'm sorry, we can't help you. You should have come. We only do it by appointment. I don't know what.
Yes.
So now, and of course, if you pay, they will allow you.
Yes.
So I remember that afternoon, so when I met this guy, I told him, by the way, I went to this place, and this is what they told me at now
the City Hall. Yes.
So he tells me, okay, let's go. The guy never used to talk, so we walked with him there.
Yes.
So he goes, the same place I had entered, the same reception, the guy who was there. Yes. So he tells me, wait here. So he goes and talks to the guy. Then he calls him, he's on the other side.
Yes.
So he calls him and then whispers something to him. I have no idea what he told him to date. He whispers something to him.
Yes.
And then he just walked to me and said, okay, you go, this guy will assist you. So when the same guy who had talked to me earlier, I go to him and say, so you said, what is it that you wanted? Yellow fever. Okay, it's going to cost you whatever.
Yes.
Very quickly. And the man was so shaken. To date, I have no idea what he was told.
Oh, yes.
So now I have my yellow fever. But remember, I was supposed to get it
10 days before, prior.
So now, and then by 3, I have my passport. I called Sister White. Those of you who have the phone booths.
Yes.
So I called her, and she was so excited. So I told her, I have the passport. She says, you please come. Now, I have to leave town, go get a matatu, and go all the way to Karen. She says, you have to come and give thanks. I went all the way to CITAM Karen.
Yes.
And then, of course, I showed her. She was so excited. So she said, now we can go to Cameroon. And then she said, we have not even bought tickets. She bought the ticket on the following day in the morning on Saturday.
Incredible.
Called the agent, got tickets. Then Monday morning, first thing, I was on a plane for my first time to Cameroon. Yeah, that was my story. That's how I actually began that kind of engagement, ministry and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, and we went, we were in Cameroon for 2 weeks. So I went there, we did, Pastor White was preaching. He had revival meetings. Then me and her, we were doing children's ministry. So we actually did DVBS. Wow. They had never done DVBS there. So the first week, all the material was translated into French because Cameroon is a bilingual state.
Yes, bilingual.
So French and English.
Yes. So
they translated. Then the following week we did in DVBS, and we had several hundred children there.
So she was serious. We thought they were not going.
They were not going. She never bought the ticket until I got the passport.
That's incredible.
So they're still my parents to date. I give them great credit.
Yeah.
Yeah. They still watch my content online, and they always send me encouragement to me. Oh, that was a good sermon. Amazing.
Wow.
So that's my heritage. Rich heritage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Were you in Douala or Yaoundé?
Douala.
Okay.
Douala.
The warm city.
Yeah, very like Mombasa. Yeah, very, very nice place. Yeah. Wonderful people. I've never been back. Well, maybe one day I'll go back.
Yes, it's now very old. It's old like Mombasa. I went there, I think, in 2018, I guess. still old city, still what, and
Yeah.
a lot of borders, and it's
Yeah.
chaotic.
It's a bit
It's
chaotic,
worse
eh?
than here. But
Ah.
anyhow, but thank you so much. I have a
Thank you.
bonus question I forgot
Yeah.
to ask. I've been
Yeah.
wondering.
Yes.
You look like a young person who only does weird.
I
Are you into
wish.
fitness and
No,
healthy?
me, I'm not. I'm not into all those things.
Ni
I'm
Mungu kusaidia.
Mboga too. Yeah, I started getting gray hair when I was very young. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, like maybe with our generation.
Yeah.
You know, those days when you saw gray hair, it's somebody maybe was 60 and above,
Yes.
70. But some of us started getting gray hair while we were still in our 30s. So I don't know if it's the water we drink or the air we breathe. I have no, or the maybe eating too much pizza. I don't know. I don't know what it is. So for me, it's just I've had gray hair since very young. Yeah.
Because the skin, the whole appearance looks very young and
Yeah, but I'm
full of
young. I'm
energy.
young. I'm young.
You know. Thank you so much. God bless
Thank you, nice. This has
Thank
been
you
good.
so much for staying up to this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pasi. I'm
welcome.
really honored.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm also grateful.
Amazing. There's something about your parents,
Yeah.
when you're in boarding school.
Yeah.
Apart from your dad really supporting and
Yeah.
getting into Jesus,
Yeah.
understanding that you can, maybe a child is not cut out for boarding school or for other things.
Or for other things,
They
yeah,
cannot be the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
But also, how you actually made a commitment from a very young age to give your life to Jesus and stick to that commitment.
Yeah.
But also how you have chosen even continue studying,
Yes.
continue building.
Yeah, you have to. You
And
have
the
to.
consistency.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know. I would like you to, tell your people, your audience, the camera, and just 3, if they forget everything we said.
Yeah.
Hope not.
Yeah.
Hope
yeah,
not.
Hope not. Yeah.
But if they were to remember 3, 4 things,
Okay.
what would be those things, those highlights?
I think for me is maybe for someone maybe who is watching and listening, that first and foremost, your story is being written. Everybody has a story. My story is unique. Yours is unique. But it's God who actually authors our story. And the most important thing is having a relationship with Him. And every one of us has a purpose. We were all created for a purpose. But that purpose is only fulfilled in that relationship with God. We were not created, just to go through life aimlessly. We were created for a specific purpose. And it begins with you having that relationship, with the Lord. And I want to encourage you and challenge you, because God's purposes are what eventually will give meaning to your life. They're your purpose, what God created you for, is what will actually complete your story. And it is your responsibility to discover that purpose. It's your responsibility to find that purpose and to walk in the path of that particular purpose. My purpose is different from yours. You can't dictate somebody else's purpose. You can't copy somebody else's purpose. It is very, very unique to you. But then secondly also, be yourself. I tell people, just be yourself. We are all so unique. You have a specific personality. There's a blueprint that has your name on it. And God created you to be a certain person, to think in a certain way, do things in a certain way. That's who He made you to be. Don't pretend to be something or somebody that you are not, because I've discovered this, that God uses or makes the best use of our lives when we are ourselves. God will not use the fake you. That's what I tell people. Yes. So it's not what you pretend to be. He uses who He made you to be. But then finally, maybe if I can just put it this way, is that God has a great plan for every one of our lives. There is nobody on the face of the earth, probably 7-8 billion people. Everybody He has created is for a good purpose. We were not created for anything negative. We were all created for a good purpose. In other words, His thoughts for you, His thoughts for me are always good. They are always perfect. Is life going to be hard? Yes, there will be challenges in life, but that does not negate God's good purpose for your life. So may the Lord bless you, and may the Lord keep you, and may He cause His face to shine upon you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pasi. Yeah. And also we'll appreciate your prayer. Someone, if you're watching and number one, you want to find a spouse. Let's start from there. Find a spouse. Yeah. So we'll want to pray for you that God will actually help you wait on Him and do the right thing at the right time. But also you won't probably find your purpose. You're wrestling, you don't know, if it's this and that. We also pray that God will help you find actually your purpose and walk into it. But also you could be having struggles, financial struggles, health struggles. We also pray that God will actually come through for you and encourage your heart in this Jesus face. So Pastor will pray for us and then we'll conclude this conversation.
Well, let's pray together. Wherever you are, just believe and let's all agree in prayer. Father, thank you for men and women, could be young people, even children, Lord, who may be watching this particular broadcast. I pray for them, dear Lord. You know them. I may not know them, but you know every one of them, dear Father, and you know them intimately. I pray, would you meet every one of them according to their needs, at the very place of their need. Those, Lord, who are looking for the meaning of life, their purpose in life, lead them in that path, dear Lord. Those, Lord, maybe who are believing you for a business, dear Father, establish them in business. Those, dear Lord, who may be believing you even for physical healing, remember them, dear Father. There are some, Lord, who are also believing you for a spouse, whether it's a wife or even a husband, and they've been waiting for you for a long time. Remember them, King of Glory. And we pray, Father, that for everyone who is listening, and even all those needs we may not have mentioned, you know every one of them. Meet them at the point of their needs in the name of Jesus. But above all, that your name will be glorified, your name will be magnified in our lives, dear Father, and that we will testify that truly this is the doing of the Lord. So I speak your blessing over your people, and I pray for them, and I speak your blessing over them, the blessing of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. I'm really honored.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm also grateful.
Amazing.
Yeah,
So
you.
see you in the next one. God bless you.